welcome into the form. We've got plenty of action for the last weekend of the season. We kick things off at Otaki with the Rider Stakes. So to talk through all of the action, we welcome back in Bevan Sweeney from Holiday and Aidan Rodley as usual. So let's have a look at the agenda. We start with that listed feature for the 2-year-olds out of Otaki, the Rider Stakes. Then we're having a look at Te Rapa. It's Tamaranui Gold Cup Day there. Really good program. Our racetrackers as usual. Then we've got jumps action on Sunday out of Te Aroha, and we've found you our best bets for the weekend. We head to Otaki for our feature this weekend, so I say hello to you, Bevan. Looks like we've had some nice weather around the country, so what are we racing on this weekend?
Yeah, hello team. It's sparkly down here. Got up this morning, it was -3, so there are pretty tough sort of frosts around the region. Interesting fact, I think, going into this meeting is that the rail was out 6 metres last time. They had 92 mils going into that particular race day. A lot less going into this particular race day. Just 20 mils have fallen, and the rail goes back into that true position. I'm not sure it's going to improve much off that heavy 10 rating. But we have seen a couple of meetings, and especially when the meeting was back in the true on the 20th of June, a lot of leaders did win, and we can hark back to New Plymouth last Saturday and what unfolded there. So interesting to do the form until we get a little bit of a look at how the track is running. But I think as far as the day goes, Pip, it's going to be absolutely beautiful.
Well, that's what we want to hear, so make sure you get out onto the track too if you're in the area. As we take a look at the feature, it is race number 5 where Spandito does hit the betting for Gavin Sharrock at $2.25, just slightly up to $2.30, because there has been money for the Lisa Latter runner here, Platinum Diamond, $3.80 into $3.40. And then outside of those two, you do have Reconvene at the $5.50. Let's take you back to a key lead-in race here, and it is Spandito beating Reconvene, obviously on a very wet Hawara surface on the Tuesday, Sweens. He's a very nice horse though, and he won this easily, Spandito.
It's an interesting form video to watch, and I'll get further from A-Rob, because Spandito does get itself worked up, but it puts itself right on speed, and there is some speed in this race, whereas Reconvene misses away and gets a long way off them and hits the line strongly. One's got experience, one is very, very green, one's on speed, one's going to get back. It really makes it interesting, but just on an experience front, I think you'd be with Spandito, but Reconvene's going to make a lovely horse, Rod.
Is a really nice run. Does come in a kilogram better than Spandito, but it's still a maiden up against a 2-win horse going into a stakes race, and Spandito just seems to be having the right preparation. Gavin Sharrock's team firing. They won 3 that day, ran second in the Opanaki Cup last weekend, so team going well. It's 1-1 Spandito against Platinum Diamond. Platinum Diamond able to beat Spandito at Wanganui a couple of starts back before winning this race at Otaki last time out. Beautiful Diamond into 3rd, but there's enough upside around Platinum Diamond. I really what we've seen from her. I think she's a key winning chance, Bevan.
Well, I think she is the winning chance. She was off the nickel before the corner here, and she sprinted through. She changed the lead leg and she quickened up beautifully. She's won at Otaki. That's a massive key. I think they can actually hold a spot with her. They've purposely gone one off where they should be and taken her back and let her run into the race. But if there is a bit of a leader bias, they can actually hold a position with Platinum Diamond. I think with Luminous and Spandito in this race, they'll be both pushing forward. I think Cosmopolitan Accentuate will take a sit, and she should be close enough, and she's really got the form on the board to be winning this race. Beautiful Lass, the second one for Lisa Latter, hit the line really, really strongly there late, and there's a horse to follow. We have got that Northern Influence heading down, and that gives good interest here. Love what Cosmopolitan did at the trials recently, but Accentuate did a good job here under a very, very good ride from Ryan. This is at Tauranga. He sneaked up the inside, by To Me Loose, hit the line really, really strongly, A-Rod. I'm not sure how this ranks up.
I think the form's okay. My best bet of the weekend comes out of this race, Bevan. So I thought it was a really good run from Accentuate. By all accounts, the horse has progressed really nicely since then. So I give Accentuate a big chance, and love the shout out for Cosmopolitan because they have a little share there. Love to see her be coming up with a stakes win this weekend, Pip.
Yeah, good luck to you there, Aidan. And we are going to actually head around the grounds, catch up with some connections, see if we can get a guide. And we start with Lisa Latter, who has the 2 chances.
Yeah, look, she is. I mean, she's still a maidener. Look, she was in a photo for second and ran third, but I thought it was a great run. Her sectionals were the fastest in the race, so she just keeps improving, and she worked nicely this morning.
Had a little freshen up. Went out to the paddock for a week or so. Has come back and done really well since. I had a good gallop yesterday morning. Worked very well. Yep, she's in good order heading down there.
Yeah, super. She really came through her last trial lovely and was a good trial. She hasn't left a note since, and no, she's going forward in the right direction. The way she's come up has been ideal leading into this. She can handle that little bit of cut in the track, which is good. And, you know, black type for a filly is awesome, you know. Her work yesterday was super. We can't fault her at the minute.
She's better just ridden a touch quieter. Look, she's getting better and better all the time, and her work this morning was very good.
And that's what you want to hear if you are in the camp of Platinum Diamond. As we get to you, Bevan, who are you with the feature?
I'm going to go with Platinum Diamond, but I do recommend it is a big watch on the track condition. You heard there from Lisa that she does like to get just a little bit back off them. If Cosmopolitan wants to hold a spot, then I think there's a lot of speed, but they did just set Cosmopolitan off them and let this horse run home late at the trials recently, so maybe it takes a sit, and that might take the speed out of it. But Platinum Diamond is the emerging horse for me, and I think she is a horse that will really develop into a good 3-year-old. That said, I think this is a better race than what she beat last time here at Otaki. But I'll go with the Lisa latter runner.
Yeah, me too, Bevan. But the more you look through this Rider Stakes, the deeper it gets. It's a pretty good quality 2-year-old race. Not too many race winners, but yeah, I think Platinum Diamond just might have the edge over them. Spandito, obviously, real respect around that horse, and fingers crossed for Cosmopolitan.
Yeah, good luck to you there, Aidan. If you do like Platinum Diamond too, you can get her at the Odd Surge too, $3.70. As we now go back to race number 3, another race we want to highlight out of Otaki. This one, the Levin Truck Services handicap over the mile for the open handicappers. And your favourite here is Pacifico at $4, from Iranui at $5. And then you have Pride of Aspen around that $7.50 quote, along with 3 others. So open and behind your 2 favourites. And speaking of Pride of Aspen, it is the runner we want to highlight first, the last start winner for John O'Benner. Aidan, what did you make of the run?
Oh, terrific. And a mare who'd been building towards this was terrific at Otaki. I thought okay, even the start before on the same track, that wasn't behind Benefactor, does drop 6 kilograms out of that run and makes Benefactor only 2 kilograms worse. So she's just going so well. Obviously, the second horse goes up to Rapa this weekend for a big race as well. So I really like what I've seen from her, Bevan.
I think the Otaki factor is the big key around Pride of Aston, Aidan. I don't think that race is overly strong. Boomtown Boy loves running second. He went out. He had his ears pricked at the line. I'm not sure he's putting in 100%. So Pride of Aspen at this particular track for John O'Benner is very difficult to beat. I love the 2 kilos off down to the 52 kilos. If it wasn't here at Otaki, wouldn't be quite so keen. I've been a fan of this particular horse for a while in Uranui. 5-year-old by Darren, trained by Debbie Harris. Has won 4 of the 20. Now, just placed 1 of 2 here, but this was a fresh up run at the 1,600 metres. Now, it has to back this up, and fresh up a mile into another mile was often pretty difficult. I thought it really toughed it out behind Chase, who's a good horse. There were some other really nice horses in this particular race. I think much stronger than that Pride of Aspen race. If she trains on, and there's no real reason that Uranui shouldn't, I think she'll love 1,600 metres again. She can put herself right on speed if there's any sort of bias. And so I was pretty keen to actually go with a Uranui. We haven't spoken about Pacifico, who will jump and put itself right in the race. It has a great record right-handed, not so good left-handed. But I'll go with Uranui on top as my top selection. Second up, the record was very, very strong. Loves wet ground. I think it's a major player, Uranui for Debbie Harris in the open mile.
Yeah, good little cafe in Uranui as well. Stopped in there the last couple of times I've been down to New Plymouth too. By the by, Pacifico, they were probably not even looking at running in this race until LJ went in there and just meant that the weights changed. For me though, I'd taken by Pride of Aspen. Love that track record, 4 from 11, going really well, and I think she's a big factor in the race, Pip.
Okay, With the local. Thanks, Aidan, as we now move to the open sprint, race number 6 on the program. And speaking of open affairs, this is certainly one on the program. The user bus handicap where Faravello heads the betting at $4, but you can see Cleat at that price as well, along with Amend and Caitlin's Wish at the $4.40. And we are going to take you back to one of the key lead-ins. Caitlin Wish wins this, holding out the likes of Cleat. Obviously gets on so well with Maria Sanson. Sweens, what did you make of her effort here?
Well, I've been waiting for her to really put a hand up as she did last season. I thought there'd been building runs. Stephen Orchards is a very clever trainer. Cleat went up to win, didn't quite finish it off. A nice little form race. Waihaha Falls, I think, is disappointing. He's the best horse in the race by a kilometre if he's right, but he just doesn't seem to have returned to his best, and he was hard held the last 150 metres. So I think this is a race, Aidan, if you do a speed map, you just put a wall of them, a blanket of them up top, and maybe it's an off-speed runner that can pick them up. I'm not 100% sure.
I think the drop back to 1,100 metres suits Caitlin's Wish right down to the ground as well. She's going well, she's hard fit. It was just a matter-of-fact win last time out. She just did her job. And Stephen Orchard pretty happy with the way she's gone on since. So, yeah, I think she's one of the key players in this race. Next horse we're going to look at is Faravello, who's coming in really well too. He's placed in 2 of the 3 starts back this preparation. And the third placing last time out in behind Sinbin was good, beat home Tabby's Court, who's since come out and won last week at Hawera. I'm a big fan of this bloke, Bevan. How did you assess him?
Well, I suppose the one thing about Faravello is that he sort of needs it all his own way, and he won't beat Amend across. And he'll go and sit outside Amend. And I think that's a perfect spot for him. If he can just get his breathing right, sit outside of Amend, he'll go very, very quick. I don't think Caitlin's Wish can get across and beat them to a forward position, Cleat or Durham Lad. Those are the 2 that'll sit 1-2. They should pull up post that if Amend can, because it is a very hard-going type of horse. But yeah, I'm with you, A-Rod. I really do like this horse as a winning chance in this particular race, because he's got all the quality and he gets it in that lightweight with Waihaha Falls in.
Okay, well, let's hear from his trainer, Royden Burgesson. He's got the 2 chances in.
He's been away from the races. He pulled up a bit crook after his last run, so he had a bit of a freshen up. I think we got him back right again, so he'll kick off on Saturday at Otaki. He's a tricky horse. He's got a few tricks up his sleeve, so yeah, we'll just hope he runs well. The wetter tracks suit him better. He's not a 110 horse, so he's good when they go about 16 or more. He's competitive.
He's had a few little feed issues, and that's probably why we brought him back. But listen, he has got form on heavy tracks, so he should be a little bit fitter on Saturday. Should be competitive.
He is actually flying. He galloped really well this morning on the course proper. And put the addition blinkers on him, really focused, and he worked really well this morning. Yeah, he likes to bowl along in front, and if they leave him alone, he should be tough to beat.
Come through it really well, always does. That's why we've got to go down there. She hasn't raced for 3 weeks. The hardest job is keeping her fit because she's so gross. Loves a heavy track, but sometimes don't like it sticky.
And she could get that with the weather on the forecaster, Bevan. So let's get to you. It's an open affair market-wise. Who are you with?
I'm going to go with Faravello. I've really liked him. I thought he was great fresh up, and I think there's been a lot of decent sort of work through the last couple of runs. So I'm going to go with him. I've just got a sneaking suspicion you'll see a lot better out of Waihaha Falls second up. Look, he's won $600,000. He's won at Metro venues across in Australia. He's a good horse. Second up, Guy Larry. 3 kilos coming off his back. He might be the real upsetter, but I'll go with Faravello on top.
Really nice field here. I'll give you mine before we get back to Pip. Faravello, yeah, on top for me as well. No jockey declared as we record this on a Thursday, neither for the Burgesson pair. Yeah, geez, Amend's a good horse, though, isn't it? 7 from 21, just hasn't won fresh in the past. But yeah, I was with Faravello. I really like him, Pip.
Okay, that's what the guys are liking on Rider Stakes Day. If you want to catch all the build-up, well, make sure you tune in to Big Saturday from 11 a.m. We have an 8-race program out of Te Rapa for Taumaranui Gold Cup Day. So, Aidan, are we getting that beautiful weather in the Waikato?
We are at the moment, Pip, for sure, and that should carry through Friday. A few showers in the forecast for Saturday. Damage has already been done, obviously, with the wet tracks and with such frosty days. We still are in that heavy range. Whether we improve with a couple of really good drying days Thursday and Friday, just not so sure. But Te Rapa has been playing really well. It'll play a little bit firmer than what we've seen in the last couple for sure.
Okay, well, let's take a look at the feature. It is race number 7 on the program. Big fields there right throughout the day, and no different in the feature here, where your favourite is Quick Fire at $4.60 from Watachama, who's on the back up at $5.50 from Saturday. Nigella Lane also in that mix at $6.50 out of the same race, and then Diamond Jack at that quote as well. We are actually going to take you to Drop of Something, who's the only other runner in single figures, back to the Te Ao Mutu Cup here, and it was a good ride by Yugo Okubo here, Aidan, just to cut the corner and hold off now the Opukenaki Cup winner in Joshua Brown.
Yep, it's really good form when you're beating Joshua Brown for sure. Also further back in the race, there was others including Diamond Jack, who just missed the start, comes right down the outside, very good Diamond Jack. Drop of Something did run all the quickest closing sectionals. That inside ground wasn't as bad as people thought. It was definitely Yugo Okubo's patch because he won 3 along there during the day. So pretty good performance from Drop of Something. Tricky barrier draw this time around, and he's got to turn the tables on Nigella Lane, who beat him pretty comfortably in the Rotorua Cup, but going really nicely. And that Joshua Brown form reference is key, Bevan.
Oh, absolutely. And there's no tougher horse in the country than Drop of Something. That horse has done a lot of racing, and when it gets that sort of run, it can be very, very difficult to get past. Of course, there's a rise in weight and an awkward draw, but you wouldn't count it out. And that market probably indicates to the viewers at home how tough this race is. So Nigella Lane has a slight class factor on most of these. This is 2 starts ago in very good company at Rotorua. Aidan, I thought the horse was actually very, very good at Rotorua in a sit and sprint back on the inside, ran 3rd at the 1600 metres, up to 2200 metres on a tough track. Look, the record here is not overly fantastic, but there's just a class factor here, and it's got a sniff of a Ralph Manning setup.
It does, and you can see the horse just about to cross the line there is Drop of Something as well. They both carried 53 that day, whereas we get up to the Taumaranui Cup and they're a whole lot higher up in the weights. Drop of Something comes in 2.5 kilograms better, but Nigella Lane going really well, and on what we've seen, I thought just a beautiful run last week. After a freshen up, we knew that she was going to be vulnerable. She'll be cherry ripe for this weekend. Have a look at Watachama. Here's a really hollow win last time out. This was last week, so 7 days between races, and absolutely puts a hole in them. It was on the fence. It was the place to be at this point. Actually, Strawberry just let this horse run, and this was the result, Bevan.
Yeah, look, nice ride, stole the race, probably biased it a little bit with the way the tempo went. Drawn inside, we'll get a very similar sort of run, you'd imagine, on Saturday, so expecting another really good effort. And Quick Fire's another major chance here. He's put up a very good preparation, the winner of 5 of 16, great on wet tracks, 2 from 2 on the course, good draw, sits on pace. Can understand why it's favourite, Aidan.
Yeah, absolutely. Capitalised on a good run to win this, so pretty much on patterns, won 3 of the last 5 and 5 of 16. RJ's Flight wasn't bad in running second, and then you sort of getting those horses such as Watachama running 5th, who's come out and then improved off that form line as well. So it's not a bad form race, and it was a real tussle between this pair on the line. So it just says that RJ's Flight's not going that badly either. Alan Nicholas aboard and claims down to 53 kilograms, Pip.
Yeah, nice lightweight at this time. We know that's really to the 4. Drop of Something, though, does have that claim from the 60 kilos. So let's hear from his trainer, Wayne Hillis. And Aidan just asked him how he's been since that last start win.
Yeah, he's doing real well, yeah. Yeah, it was planned to go to Taranaki last week, but pleased they called the race off, actually, because it might have been a bit too hard.
Yeah. What have you asked of him training leading into this week's run?
He's done a lot of work at home, and he's just had a good gallop yesterday with a mate and come through it well. Yeah, well, he's got a big weight, but he's rated above them all, so he's deserves it, I suppose, and he's going to get the claim, so that'll bring him a bit closer to them.
Yeah, her work again has been solid. Last race at Te Rapa was a bit of a spanner in the works, but yeah, we've pushed on, and she's yeah, working great. Well, she's been all around the horses that are probably hitting the markets when she's, apart from last start. So, yeah, we expect that she should go a forward race if she still wants to be a racehorse. Yeah. And the track coming back to probably a slow 9 will be beneficial for her.
Yeah, real good run last time. Still a little bit slow away, but it was a good run though, yeah. I'm happy with him. Yeah, just the jumping out part's a key thing for him. He jumps out better, he should be in it, yeah.
Fingers crossed if you are with him. Speaking of who you're with, Aidan, who have you got on top here in the feature?
Yeah, real respect for Diamond Jack. I thought he's a key player in the race, but I'm going with Nigella Lane. She's shown her quality already. Her Rotorua Cup win was terrific, and I think it's the yardstick performance leading into this one. Good pipe opener last week on with Nigella Lane. Bevan, how about you?
I thought this race was really wide open. I have gone with the class factor, scarily like you, Aidan, with Nigella Lane. Inside gate, I'm not sure how that's going to land by race number 7, but I think there's a Ralph Manning setup here. Kelly Myers aboard. She's been great on this horse. She's been riding fantastically. So I did go with Nigella Lane at what I think is decent sort of odds.
It really is, and that's a look at the feature. We're now going to jump back one race to have a look at the 6th there. Very good field on the program. This is the Woods Contracting Handicap over the 1,300 metres. Force of Nature favourite, $3.70, backed in a point from Lazio at $4.20, and then Marlborough Bay at that $4.50. Michael McNabb getting down to the 54 kilos here. Looks a good chance to remain unbeaten this gelding. Aidan for Andrew Forsman.
I think this is about the first time in 2 months that he's been down anywhere near that sort of weight, but a horse who's won 4 from 8, all 4 in as many starts at Te Rapa, so he's a real Te Rapa specialist. His win here last time out, terrific. He has been freshened since this, and will face a pretty testing track, but he's going really nicely, so yeah, he's one of the key horses in the race, Bevan.
Well, he definitely is, and he's going to be winning more races as preparation. I suppose the biggest question mark, I know this horse has won on heavy ground, but recent times have suggested that the better ground, he may even be more of a force. But I think you can take a key around Michael McNabb down at the 54 kilos. Lazio's a really good horse. The one thing with Lazio is that he doesn't have the most pretty legs, and at times they can hold him back. He went up to win this day. He didn't quite go past Tavi's Court, who's a good horse in his own right. Well, he went past, but he got beaten. And I think they were trying to get to the Otaki Cup, and he might have just been a touch short. But the blinkers go on Saturday, Aidan. And Alan's always said to me, if he didn't have those slight knee niggles, he'd be a group horse for sure.
Oh, here's a horse, another horse with a very similar record to Force of Nature. He's won 4 from 9, placed in another 4. He's been to Rapa, he's unbeaten there as well. So one of those two horses will lose their unbeaten record this time around. I just think Lazio is just a bit more seasoned. Those last couple of runs have been good. Just didn't get the right preparation into an Otaki Cup. So instead, he's in a race where I think he can win this weekend. I think he's Force of Nature's biggest danger.
Well, Alan had him nominated for both meetings. He's chosen this one, so therefore I'll go with Alan Sherrick. Did talk to him about the horse clearly at the trials on Tuesday, and he thinks he's going really, really nicely, and he's done everything he can to hold them together, and the blinkers do go on. So with Lazio.
Okay, and follow your money if you're with him last time out at Hawara. From there, we're now going to take a look at a really nice 3-year-old race on the program here, the 4th, over the 1,400 metres, where Rib Cracker is looking to go back-to-back at $2.15 from Eagle Rock and then Bo Miller. Let's take you back to Rib Cracker's last start win here on the track. Very good performance again from Hugo Akubo, who was in form this day, Aidan.
Yeah, he was, and he just dictated affairs. It was a sit sprint, really, and Rib Cracker proved just a superior horse the way it turned out. He ran the quickest first 400 and the quickest last 8.64 and 200. So, yeah, he can cross to the lead despite the wide gate. Yuga stays aboard. Nothing but upside around this one.
I agree. This horse should be winning. The last start was great. The run at New Plymouth was fantastic off forward position. Weight, not a really impulse from a stable that's flying. If there was one danger, got a little bit interested around Illuminated Miss with Ashley Strawbridge aboard to maybe upset the Apple Cup. But Rib Cracker on top for me, and I think one of the better bets on the program, race number 4.
Yeah, interesting horse in the race is Bo Miller, who ran second on debut, and that day easily beat Rib Cracker. So, I don't know, it may be a horse who's really on the way up. They're really happy with him. Janine Daly gave us a decent push for the horse on Tuesday. So a horse who definitely hasn't found his mark yet, and if you're going to put them against each other head-to-head again, it could be a good battle. I've gone Rib Cracker on top just with the experience factor, but real respect around Beau Miller.
I might just take the Quinella, and if you want to catch all of that action, Aidan and I will be taking you through it on your big Saturday from 11 a.m. These are the horses we think you should be following in the coming weeks. Now, with Leith on holiday, that means we start with you, Aidan. Who are you liking?
Well, one thing we're going to do with New Plymouth last week is you're going to give a lot of points to those horses who were wide on the track and from back and running. However, this was some sort of performance from a horse who just took advantage of the way that the pattern was. Zanzibar got to the front and just absolutely showed them a clean pair of heels, even with the muddy track. Super performance from Zanzibar. There were a few like this who ran the quickest first 400 and the quickest last 8, 6, 4 and 2, but I thought really impressive Zanzibar.
It was. I will say, Aaron, I'm going to throw that whole meeting in the bin and move on. This is Cyprus. This horse was close up behind Mate way last start. Great trial to set back here, swoop to them and put them away with a fair bit of ease. I think this horse is close to winning. And just take note, there's a 2-year-old, Ruby Rosa. Kevin Myers, Patrick Payne at the same trial though. Write that name down as well.
And I'm taking you to Flemington, probably following my money here, but Bayou Music. Jamie Mallam just couldn't get the horse out till late here. He's really flashed at the line, this 2-year-old, over the 1,800 metres. So I think he's a real follow there in the Godolphin colours. It just could have probably taken a gap slightly earlier, opted not to, and then has flashed at them. So note it down and pop it in your race tracker along here with a Zanzibar for Aidan and a Cyprus for Bevan. Last dance for the Premiership is on Sunday out of Te Aroha, Aidan, and boy, we've got plenty of jumps action. We'll obviously be running on that heavy, but what's our weather looking like?
Weather looks great there. They probably just avoid those showers that are forecast for Hamilton. It should be gorgeous there. Obviously, true winter conditions, a heavy 10, but that's what these jumpers are seasoned for. And like you say, Pip, 6 jumps races with that jumps premiership on the line. Joshua Parker or Kylan Wiles, who emerges with 1 win to get the title?
It'll be interesting, and the race we are going to have a look at, they both have good chances. It's the third on the program here, the Peter and Jess Brosnan hurdle, and you can see Jerry Cooper, who brings in really good form, Joshua Parker to do the riding on it, and Invisible Spirit, Kylan Wiles will be riding as we take a look at the field. Let's take you back here to Jerry Cooper, last time out at Te Rapa. Ends up finishing second. I have to say, Aidan, turning in for home, he didn't really look like a chance to place, but he's lifted late.
Yeah, he did a really good job. He's done a good job the whole way through, and that's credit to the work that the Wilsons put into this horse. Harvey travelling a long way to be here this day. There were some okay runs in the race, though. I thought English Gambler was a lot better. The Bambino handy enough as well, Bjorn.
Absolutely. Look, it's a nice form race for this particular race. Jerry Cope can run through the pain barrier. I think this horse has been perfectly handled leading into some pretty big assignments coming up for Harvey Wilson. Trevor won't worry it. This horse has won over, I think, 3,000 metres or even further at New Plymouth one day on a very tough testing track condition. I think it's going well. Just needs to get into the race a little bit earlier. I've got him on top in what I think is a pretty even sort of race. I'm interested to see what they do come up with price-wise.
Yeah, I've gone with Invisible Spirit. Was very good in running second here, 2 starts, but it looked to have that race won before Lord Spencer came from the clouds to nose Invisible Spirit out. So happy to go there.
Okay, that's what the guys are liking as we move on now to race number 6 on the program. This one, the Te Aroha Cup over the steeplechase. Smug is right here up the top of the book for Michael Rousbury and Chris Wood. Leitrim Lad races Te Aroha very well, picking up his win there 2 starts ago. And then you do have the likes of Izzy My Dad and Super Spirit also in the nominations. Let's have a look here at Smug, and while he got his redemption, almost thought he was going to go down at that second to last fence, Aidan, but not to be. Gets over the top of the champ West Coast.
He's hard fit, and this was a performance of real quality. He was terrific at Trentham the start before when he was disqualified, but yeah, taking out a Hawke's Bay Hurdles, beating West Coast, that's no mean feat. He's tough to beat again, Bevan.
Oh, it has to be. He actually over-raced quite a bit, didn't he, in this particular race, but still held on. Couldn't believe the price they gave you on this horse against West Coast at Woodville. Other chances, Countryman, good second in this particular race. Ours Red Z is going nicely enough. I don't mind Super Spirit as a bit of an upsetter in this particular race, but Countryman's been there or thereabouts. Super Spirit, whether they can beat Smug if he turns up again, Smug, and races up to the quality of their last two. I'm not sure, Aidan, but they're certainly in with a chance.
I thought the main danger was Leitrim Lad, who's got a terrific record. His steeplechase record's outstanding. But I was with Smug as my top selection in the race. Bevan, are you in the same boat?
Yeah, if our multi from the form gets up this weekend, Rod, the people at home will be getting rich, but it's not quite that simple in these heavy tens. I'll go with Smug. I thought it was great he got his result last time, but look out for that West Coast. I think an Australian's been booked to ride him as he heads down to Riccarton.
You cannot wait for that, and I don't think you'll quite be getting the same price there for Smug this time. Make sure you're up nice and early, cuppa in hand. That Sunday session gets underway at 10:30 a.m. Time for our best bets. Aidan, who have you found this week?
I'm going to the first race at Te Rapa. Obviously, not an easy weekend, so I just want to get one who does get first use of the track. And yeah, we were talking about the horse on the inside of Andrew Forsman's heading down to a Ryder Stakes. Thought Mr. Marigold has been super the whole way through. He's just in a nice place to be at 1200. I think he may want to get further in time, but just like the form lines leading in, and I thought he picked himself.
Man, did I find this difficult after being away for a month, but I'm going to go with one called Perfect Pete, who's fresh up for Andrew Campbell. Now, this is a trial post a really good jump-out win. It's gone 2 from 2 into second, goes to Waverley on Friday. It is the market mover. It's drawn 2, 6.50. I'll take a chance on it first time back.
And I'm shopping across the Tasman again this time in summer. You can just see back on the rail here, couldn't get out till late and then did hit the line really strong. Up to the 1800 metres this mare by the autumn sun. This time she draws softly in barrier number 1. Jason Collett sticks with, and she's already into $2.90. So I'll be with her in summer in the third out of Randwick. Let's have a look at a summary. You can see the Whale will start us off with Ringleader at Addington on Friday, Aidan with Mr. Marigold at Te Rapa, Bevan with Perfect Pete at Waverley, so hopefully gets us off to a winning start there, and then in summer for myself at Randwick. And that completes the form for the season. We'll be back with our new form next week, but in the meantime, thanks to Aidan and Bevan. Hopefully we've found you the winners. We'll catch you soon.